March in the city of Springfield. I'm Miriam Alexis Jordan, and I'm happy to be your host for tonight, where we're featuring so many talented artists this month, and three we get to talk to here in this Emerald Arts Center, which was founded in 1957, and it is one of the very few art centers where it's still going strong, but only with the help and support of our community and support of our artists. So please do not be shy in contributing to the programs that we offer and to support our artists. So we're going to feature three artists tonight, and I would love to introduce one of the member artists. We have about 200 members who are artists or arts advocates, arts professionals who support the Emerald Arts Center. So let me introduce you to Lou Magoncia. Lou Magoncia, step right up. Mr. Magoncia has his art featured in this wall on this corner. And Lou, please tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you recently retired, you dabbled in art most of your life, and now you get to do it full time.
There's not much to say about me. I'm 5'8", 175 pounds. What do you want to know? No, I enjoy art, as you can see. And I have painted off and on for years. I had some show in Art Gallery in Morro Bay. That was years ago, though. Anyway, working and so forth and so on, raising a family, it's hard to put in a lot of time in something like that, art that you enjoy. But since I retired, I've been able to focus on it, and I really enjoy, as you can tell, landscapes because I enjoy the earth. It's a beautiful place to live. And so I hope you enjoy the art, viewing the things. And there's a lot of other beautiful art here also. So enjoy the art.
Thank you, Lou. Now, do you all have any questions? Don't go away. Do you have any questions to ask Lou about his artwork? Now, I do notice that you do like the outdoors. Do you find most of your inspiration in the state of Oregon, or do you have other places in the world that you really like?
It's mostly Oregon, Northwest. Yeah.
Great. And so on your technique, how do you come up with the final product? Do you start with a pencil and canvas?
I tell my friends, and most of them will tell you this is what I say, I'm not a true artist. I put paint on the canvas and move it around until something happens, and I stop there.
That's quite a talent to know when to stop. Does anyone have any questions about his technique? So your artwork is up through the month of March, is that correct?
That's correct.
So the Emerald Arts Center is open Tuesday through Sunday, and so please come and visit through the month of March. And will you be talking to your art patrons here when we go to the next stop?
Sure, yeah.
Great. So we want to thank also our sponsors for this month. We rely on sponsorships to have events such as this. So we want to thank the City of Springfield and also to Tronson Gallery for sponsoring this event tonight. Now, I would like to introduce our next artist. Oh, do you want to clap? Okay. Thank you. Our next artist is also a member of the Emerald Arts Center, and I would like you to meet David Plasencia.
Well, first off, thank you to the Emerald Arts Center for giving us the space to have this much fun. I usually love talking about myself and my artwork, but it's actually not about me tonight at all. It's about Otto, right over here, and Kate. Where's my Kate?
Come on up, Otto.
And I'm not going to force you guys to talk or anything, but I would love for you to be nervous with me.
Okay.
All right, we're a team. This is Yaw Studio here in the center, and these are all artworks from 12 to 17-year-olds, and I think Kate may even have some when she was 11 when she first put it up there. We have Otto's work on this side, and I really like working with these guys, and it's been a real privilege. I've never felt this kind of pride in an artwork that wasn't my own. And again, I'm a practicing artist, but if I can ever try to pitch and sell, it's going to be for these kids. So these are for sale, and 100% of every dollar spent goes to that child. Okay? And they have sold artworks in the past, and I consider them professional artists in our community. I believe Kate's a member of the Emerald Arts Center as well. I'm going to get Otto here signed up as soon as I can. And we're going to keep having fun and showing art here for years to come. And that's the best part about this program wasn't, hey, come by for a weekend and learn about art. That I could see every semester, I see them, their maturity level raises in their lives and how they just interact with one another, but their artwork also continually matures every semester. So I'm just really proud of these guys and this program, and a big thank you to Paula Goodbar, wherever she's hiding. We all know her. She's been my right-hand person through this the past 4 years. And it's never been such an adventure before. So I'm just very thankful to be here and that these guys work so hard to make the program look good.
And what is the name of the program?
We're calling it Y'all Studio Youth Artworks, and it's going to include the younger kids now too. So hopefully in a few months you'll see a wall full of 6-year-olds artworks that will blow your mind as well.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to get this. Oh, and by the way, all of this costs these kids nothing. All 4 years. And they've actually been making money off this program. So that's huge to me. And it's a big success and win in my book. So thank you again, guys.
So please take a look at Kate Brown's work and Otto's work here in the center. So now our visiting artist, who is from Oregon, he is here to do a demonstration and will be here for a wonderful workshop. So let me wheel this over there, if I can, over to where he is, or actually Ed can come here. Let me introduce you to Mr. Ed Labadie. Ed Labadie, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're here.
Well, thank you. This is my second exhibition here upstairs, and the second time we've tried to do a combination of a workshop and an exhibition. So if you like the demo I'm going to do tonight, even if you don't like it and you know I can do better, then you're obligated to come to this workshop when you're invited. March 23rd, 4th, and 5th, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I know you're going to be really torn in a minute because you're going to want to go on the art block, but you're also going to see me getting started on a full sheet watercolor. So make your choices wisely. Thank you.
So Ed, before you go away, what inspired you to do the artwork that you do? I noticed that you have some wonderful vibrant colors upstairs. So tell us about your inspiration.
Gee, I was ready for anything but that. I've been painting since I was a little child, and I have evolved, and I expect to continue to evolve. And a lot of people like really dove gray colors and burnt siennas, and that's fine. But I've been enjoying the intensity of color, and it's just a personal choice. I work it into my palette, and you'll see that. And then in closing, I really have had the good grace and the good luck, fortune to travel the world. And I paint and teach wherever I travel, and I bring those memories home. And so you'll find scenes from New Zealand up here, everywhere I traveled, and a whole lot of things in my mind. Tonight, the demo I do has no photograph. It's going to be completely out of my imagination. And whatever the question was, where do I get my inspiration? From the time I was a kid, it just came natural.
Thank you so much. So we are going to be here for about 20 minutes, so please go right now to see Ed Labadie and his work, how he creates his wonderful work of art, and don't forget to check his artwork upstairs. Now, keep in mind that the gallery changes the exhibition every month. That is amazing. Most places it's quarterly, but it changes every month. So you always have something new to see. Yes?
You made those guitars look beautiful.
Yes, those guitars are works of art. And who can come up here to tell me a little bit more about the guitars? No, well, you're going to have to come back. So, thank you so much. Please enjoy the gallery, enjoy the food, go upstairs to the exhibition, and check out the classroom where we hold all of our workshops. Thank you.
Should I do the parade wave now?
Yes. Oh, excellent, excellent. Oh, excellent, excellent.
Organization from California that does training, a nonprofit does training of the same kind, and I'm continuing to and they're trying to, and we talked about strategic planning, how they do that. I grew up here. I grew up in Eugene, Yola, and grad school in the LA area, and lots of stuff. I said, yeah. She said, wow.
Yeah. One of our kids lives in Nashville, so we go.
Is that they train?
Take the music out of the musician.
Statistics, she told me yesterday, were that 134 artists from all over the country submitted 329 images for this show, and there are 70 that were chosen that are on display here. And of those, 41 are Oregon artists, which is, Marilee says, one of the highest percentages of the 12 years that the show has been going. And she will talk to you about the organization of the show, the categories of prizes, which when I looked at them, I didn't know really how they related to each other. So she's really good at making that pretty clear. And some of the things that were fascinating that we talked about were how the judge made the choices that she did to put the show together, and also some of the things that she looked at in each picture that most people might not even realize, but when you start looking at the picture, with the judge's insight into it, which Mary Lee was with her, I think, probably the whole time, and can explain some of the reasons the judge made choices that she did, and it's a very fascinating process. So if you would like to start from the beginning and tell us all about how this show went together.
Oh, where does it start? It starts a year in advance at least. You get a judge, you put together the paperwork, you send out what we call a call of artists, and it goes out on a national basis. And we then start the process of getting the sponsors for the awards. And this year, my goal is $5,000 because that's the minimum for the awards. And getting sponsors, since we're a nonprofit, it depends on the generosity of others. Otherwise, this would not happen. And we've had wonderful sponsors over the years, and thank you so much for sponsors. The awards themselves are given Best of Show, Gold Medal, Silver Medal, Bronze, Award of Distinction, Merit Awards, a Founders Award, and Recognition Awards. And it goes from 1,500 for the best one, 1,000, 700, 500, 300, 200, and 100. So those are the increments of the awards. And when the judge gets all those images, she has to decide what ones get to go into the show. And how she makes her decision is, first of all, is it something I've ever seen before? If it's something that is so unusual, then yes, it's going to go into the show. Take, for instance, the piece right over on the wall with the funny little, looks like candy stuck on it. Never saw that kind of thing before. But those are things that the judge looks for, are those wow factors. Everything that's in here on the walls deserves to be here because it is the best of what it represents. Whether it be pastel, a portrait, an abstract, it is top quality. And they all deserve to be here. Then to make your determination on the awards is very, very difficult because you have to get so detailed and picky. You have to go up and look, is that really the line connected? Is that pigment exactly matching? In order to make those awards and those decisions, it has to be that technical. But she had to make a well-rounded show. All I asked is that there be a well-rounded show, which means portraits, landscapes, animals, pastels, watercolors, oils. So everybody gets a little bit of something. And then for the awards, again, she doesn't want to lay it all on one, or all oils or all watercolors. She wants an interesting show. Because if you don't like abstracts, why would you go to an abstract show? So even though she's an abstract artist herself, and I appreciated that because I got to get in my own show. Because I do abstracts. But it was a very interesting process because it is an education. When she came through to do the awards, she also did what we call a critique, which means she talked about every painting. That's 70 paintings that she critiqued and talked about what was good and what, in her opinion, could have improved it. I've run out. What else would you like to talk about?
Maybe you could pick one. We went through and looked at several yesterday, and one of the ones was the award of distinction here, which really had The way that you were able to explain what she saw in this painting was really fascinating.
The artists, if I ever get a chance to, when they drop their paintings off, I ask them what inspired them, how did they do it, because I want to know, I want the backstory. And the artist said, well, first thing I did was a watercolor in plein air, and I didn't like it. So I marbled over it. I still didn't like it. So then I started doing some lines with ink, and suddenly I saw something. It was a tree. It became more of a tree and more of a tree. And if you see, there is even a figure in there.
And then there was also, I guess it goes into the whole layering ideas, and the judge was really impressed with the fact that when you looked at one piece of the painting, there were things behind it, and so it has a lot of dimensionality to it. You can talk about yours.
I asked for a private critique of my own painting, which is the blue one right here. And she says, first of all, I hate the framework on it. I said, oh gosh, that's what I liked. But that's why she said when you go into a competition, you don't want the frame to be taking anything away from the painting itself. And that's fine. She said, if you like it, you keep it. But that's one of the things that I appreciated, was getting my own critique. And she said, she just thought it was unusual. And she said, I've never seen anything like it before. So I like that. These small paintings are upstairs in our mezzanine. And somebody said, well, why do you put all the small paintings upstairs? Well, if you put the small paintings next to these big ones, they would be overwhelmed. So we like to give everybody a chance to shine. So the best of the show is upstairs. It's one of the little ones. And you'll be very surprised, and I hope pleased, when you see who got the best of the show. A lot of times, what's interesting about a painting is the story behind the painting. For instance, the painting that's right here, this abstract, this is the journey of her husband's cancer. This is how she put down in art her husband's cancer and how she rose above it. She knows what it means, but it's a very powerful painting. And there's another very powerful painting right here on the wall, this abstract. This painting is about homelessness. How he is an immigrant and he goes from one place to another. And you can actually, at least it speaks to me, you can see his journey. The one next to it is a portrait of one of our artists, Joelle Emery, and it's called Selfie. And the artist loved the close-up, the fact that this is in your face. And then there's another one that I'd like to point out. It's the burning hat. That's got to be a really interesting painting. The artist has talked about how she's been doing a series of curtains and stages. And so she wanted to paint an image that has stuck with her for many years. And she said that she was going home one night and dusk, there was no one around, and in the middle of the intersection was a burning hat. So she said, I wanted to paint that and put it on stage. And if you go to the side, look at it kind of sideways, you will see that she's sewn little beads into the flame. one thing you need to do is pick up a ballot and vote for your favorite of the show. The final award is people's choice. It is your choice. So the ballot box is here. There are pencils, there are ballots. So take a ballot, wander around, and decide which one out of all of these is your favorite. Thank you.
And I believe the balloting goes through the end of May, so if you can't decide tonight, you can always come back and think about it some more.
Thank you.
I just haven't even I thought about that too.
All right, so we're going to be going to Wise Turtle in about 10 minutes. That way you've got some time to actually take a look at some of the art here. And the art walk tour will be going upstairs to the second floor. The elevator is right through these doors. And you can follow us upstairs and meet the artist Marilyn Kent in about 10 minutes. And I will announce it again. Thank you.
The ballot box is right on the other side of that grid. On the other side of the grid. How are you? Good.
So basically it's ink and water, and it's a little bit, it's mostly about the strokes and how you control the water. So now it looks like everything goes together, but when it dries, it shows off differently.
Do you have an end image in your head right now?
Somewhat. Yeah, in the Chinese, in art, they have a saying, before you do your painting, you have the whole composition, everything is already within your mind, and you try to execute it. Sometimes you might have to change a little bit, but that's how you're supposed to start. So I'm still choosing a really traditional subject matter, which is lotus. So, you know, it's pretty common themes because we see that every day, because when I'm doing this, I can still smell it. Because, you know, it's such a, so kind of bring me back, you know, my younger days, I guess. We used to go and do drawings and over in the field.
What is your paper, Dad?
It's a shrink paper. It's made out of, it's not bamboo, but it's a particular kind of grass in certain areas in China. And they have either a double shrink or single shrink. It depends on what you use it for. Yeah, they start introducing some of those from the garden areas. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it in Jerry's and stuff. And I have my koi pond, but I think last year I had one, but it the cold weather did not permit it to grow too well. Chinese brush painting, sometimes it looks really easy, really fast, but it takes a long time to learn how to control. I remember when we start doing that, we have to learn what they call the 4 gentlemen, is bamboo, orchids, and plum blossom, and what else? Anybody? Chrysanthemums.
Yeah.
It's a test, guys. So yeah, so because those are basically, I can kind of show you, after this I can kind of show you what it does makes a difference. So I'm going to wait for it to dry out, and then I'll probably add the little dragonfly or whatnot. So that's kind of what it is, but if you want to see how it will be when it's done, so you can kind of see the gradations and the different facets of the leaves and all that stuff. So those are only going to show up when it's dry. So, but because if put any water on it, it's going to be dark gray anyway. So, yeah. I can reuse that. So I can do a really quick 4 gentlemen, so I can kind of show you what the difference is in different strokes. It's a shrimp paper. We can order that.
Shrimp, S-H-R-A-M-P?
S-H-E-N, I think.
Jen.
Yeah. See how my hands move around?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to get my movements and my actions into the piece. And when you do Chinese brush painting, you don't sit down and rest it on. So you have to do everything with your arms and your body. So. Most of the time you do it from top down. And most of the time, unless if it's a fine brush painting on silk and all that, you do everything in one setting. The reason is you don't want the color to dry out and then you lay something on top of it. So you always let them blend together.
Last Friday. It was on Tuesday. I tried to call God and say, listen, it's kind of convenient, but
continue with your
Okay.
demo, and folks, you're welcome to stay here. We're going to move on to the staff statement.